What's up, fam? Hope everybody's doing fantastic out there. So we've got a new one here for you today. This is one I've seen a little bit of stuff on out there. I did a little bit of research on it. There's some strange stuff that's going on with this particular knife. Some things that are a little interesting to me, and I think a few of the other reviewers that's looked at this knife that give honest opinions are kind of a little confused by and are taking some issues with. So we'll go over that. But this is the Dark Bolt Design Arcus as the sheep's foot blade with the 20 CV. Very nice packaging. I will give them that. You do get a little sticker there. And then there is a piece of foam and then the knife inside. So nothing too extravagant, but really simple, really clean packaging. A really simple, really clean looking knife. And we'll just jump straight on in here because you do have a few little interesting bits and pieces here. So you do see you have a button lock right from the get-go. Some milled G10. Nothing out of the ordinary there. Some decent looking G10. You do have a single screw construction outside of the pivot. And taking a look on the back side, you do have your pocket clip. One of those screws is going to go into your barrel spacer. You do have a lanyard pin here, a very nice lanyard pin, as a matter of fact. You do have a titanium pocket clip. It is non-reversible. Really nice kind of angled pocket clip. Really strong retention on that pocket clip as well. Same milling on the G10, and we are not dead centered. Let me trying to look at it. No, we're good. It's centered. Well, no. It is not centered. Let me see if this screw has just gotten loose over time. Yeah, the screw had just gotten a little loose, so I just put the screw back to being tight, and we are centered now. So this is a pass-around knife. So I'm not going to hold little things like that against it. Like I said, especially if it was very easily corrected with just a slight tightening of the screw. So you do have a double-sided pivot there. So I'm not sure if it's captured or not, but it did tighten up really easily. So segueing into that, our screw machining is solid there. And on the other side as well. And then our T6s. Oh, sorry, our T8s. T8 is good there. And then perfect and perfect. All right, so all of our screws look good. Let's go ahead and take a look at our blade. Wipe the schmutz off of it here. So this one I did not play with at all. This is straight out of the box as it was shipped to me. Don't really have too many pre-existing thoughts on the knife. So you can see there you do have a really nice hollow ground blade. Again, 20 CV. A nice kind of a sheep's foot, modified sheep's foot, whatever you want to call it. Really nice swedge there. So you've got a really nice satin job on this. There you have the Dark Bolt Designs logo. Very, very simple thumb studs, which actually work really well. Incredibly good jimping on the back. So that is something they did fantastically well. Very good jimping on the back. Again, open construction, simple steel liners, and you can see it is a button actuated liner lock. I think they call it the dark lock, something along those lines, because you can actuate the liner by your thumb or by the button. So just an interesting design there. Grinds look pretty good. Got a fantastic sharpening tool. So you can see the plunge grind terminates very quickly, and then you have that fantastic sharpening tool behind that really nice hollow grind. Everything looks good there. Don't really see any issues. Blade still feels very nice. Again, this is fairly late in its life on the pass around. So, and there we can see the tip is spot on. Looks great. So yeah, so let's take a look at the knife itself. So a great looking little knife. Again, a very simplistic design. Sheepsfoot blade, fairly symmetrical handle, nothing extremely wild, just got a couple of slants there milled out. Again, really looking good with that pocket clip. You do have, again, just a standard liner lock if you just want to use it as that. Pretty simple. Detent's a little light. I don't know if that's even something you can adjust on this with it being that button actuated lock, but it's not so light that it doesn't work. It's just a little light. I know it's going to be light for the flipper though. As light as it is for the thumb studs, I bet you for the flipper it's going to be really light. Yeah, it's really light for the flipper. Like, I wouldn't even have the flipper on this knife. This is one where I would just assume it and not have the flipper at all, just because of that detent being where it's at. It's tuned fairly well for the thumb studs. Reverse flick, pretty good. Really nice and easy because of the way the thumb studs poke out. Really pretty easy reverse flick there. It does have what looks to be a bit of an awkward front flipper. We'll see if I'm able to do this. It looks like it's going to be a little awkward. Let's see. It works. That jimping, that really good jimping that I talked about is the only reason this front flipper works. That jimping really grabs a hold of your finger, and that's the only reason it works at all. Button actuation works really well. I mean, that's really nice. Works really well. Yeah, I like that. If it didn't have a damn flipper, if I bought one, I would cut the flipper off of it, 100%. If it didn't have that flipper, this knife would be, ergonomically and everything speaking, would be a home run. Again, I don't like the flipper at all, and there's no need for it. You've got plenty of finger choil here, plenty of ramp there, where you don't need the flipper. The jimping on the back of the blade is phenomenal. The handle is great. Ergonomically speaking, it's very simple, very symmetrical, and just very pleasing to the hand. Fantastic little knife. You can get these for, they're looking at around $170. Again, 20 CV titanium clip, 3.2 inch blade, 7 3/4 overall. They say they run their 20 CV between 59 and 61. That's not too shabby there. See what our weight looks like on this guy. Weight, we are looking at 3.8 ounces. So a little on the heavy side. But then again, you do have steel liners. So G10 and steel liners is not too bad. It is milled out. You do have some pretty hefty milling in there. You guys can see that. So all in all, I think the knife really is a home run. Like I said, I just wish it didn't have a damn flipper on it. It doesn't need to be there. It's got such a weak detent for that flipper. Thumb stud action is phenomenal though. But then, like I said, for me, my big old fat fingers, the flipper gets in the way. So, and the flipper gets in the way of the front flipper as well, because you do have to ride up higher. At least I do, because I've got these little short fucking thumbs. But you have to ride up higher, and with that, it just kind of, I don't know. It still works. It still works actually really well because of the jimping that's on there. But without that flipper there, it will be a lot easier to actuate. Now, to the kind of controversial part of this. And I'm going to paraphrase a little bit because I can't remember exactly how it's worded on their website. But they say that they're made to where any of their blades will fit any of their knives, so that you can get their other blade shape, which is just like standard drop point, and switch it over to this blade. But then they go on to say, if you do that, there's of course, there's always a chance of lock rock or detent lash or improper fitment, not being off center, anything like that, which is kind of a given. If you're blade swapping and things like that, there's always a risk. I've blade swapped several knives. I've blade swapped a couple of Vostids, a couple of Kaisers, a few other knives, some Wies, a few other things, but there is always that chance of that. But then they go on to say that they'll only warranty knives in their original configuration. So why say that it's okay to blade swap them if you won't warranty them after you've blade swapped them? It just doesn't. I don't know, it doesn't make any sense to me. Why even talk about it being there if you're not going to honor the ability to do that? I again, that's just maybe call it nitpicking, whatever. But I'm not sure why you would even mention it. Why not just not mention that fact? I mean, because if the handles are the same, I mean, the majority of the public in the knife community anyway are smart enough to know that if the handles are the same, the blades are going to swap. And if we take the risk on ourselves to swap the blades, like I did with, my sheepdogs or my nightshades or so on and so forth, if I've swapped the blades and I screw it up and it doesn't fit, that's on me. I know Kaiser doesn't say you can swap blades, but if I've got two sheepdogs and I want to mix and match them, I'm going to do it. And then if they don't fit, they don't fit. I switch everything back and it's fine. But for a company to say that you can switch them out, they're designed to be able to do that, but then say that you can't do that and that's warranty it. Again, it just doesn't work for me. I don't understand it. Outside of that, I think the knife is great. Like I said, if I owned one, I would flip or delete it literally the first day I bought it, because I think this knife is stellar without that flipper. I really like the action on it. Said the thumb stud action is great. It's just one of those things. Like I said, I knew it was going to be a little weak for that flipper. Front flipper seems to work pretty good. Like I said, it's kind of weird because of the flipper being the way for me. But if you've got longer thumbs, you're probably not going to have that problem. You'll probably be able to just reach over. I can just barely grab it and flick it out, and it does work really well with me just being able to barely get it. So if you have the longer fingers, you'll probably be able to work it a lot better. So yeah, like I said, I'm pretty intrigued by this knife. The pricing's not terrible. I like the fact that you could still use the liner lock if you wanted to. The Remet, whatever the heck you're supposed to say it, the Kingfish, their pivot lock knife, you can still actuate the lock, the frame lock. You can still actuate it without the, or is it a liner lock? I can't remember. You can still actuate the lock without pressing the pivot lock on it as well. So that's kind of a similar thing there. But, both are very impressive. So I like that. I like being able to actuate it like that. Either way, it just kind of gives you, again, multiple closure options. The button does work like a normal button lock. Well, kind of, there you go. But it's not really as easy because of where the button is located, but it does, you press the button, it does release it. So, yeah, like I said, phenomenal knife. Kind of a weird thing with their, with the company, how they're doing that whole warranty thing. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Is that reading too much into it, or what? I think it's, like I said, I think it's pretty pretty stupid to sit there and say that your knives are designed to switch the blades out, but if you switch them out, you can't warranty it. So, anyway, guys, I appreciate y'all. As always, remember to be kind, be humble, be EDC, and we'll catch you on the next one. Y'all take care.